Welcome back to the BFC, where we go into the trenches of the trading world. Welcome to our very first virtual conference. This is session B and features tickers CRKT and HWAL. Kicking things off all the way from Ireland is a company that has plans for multiple divisions, including a real estate division offering unique services in the Irish housing market. Please welcome CEO Tomas Brennan and COO Kevin Flynn of Cirmaker, ticker CRKT.
Hello, and welcome to this presentation about Cirmaker Technology Corporation. My name is Tomas Brennan, and I'm the CEO of the company. I'd like to take this time to explain to you a little bit about this company. So Cirmaker Technology was acquired by the Brennan family and taken under new management in March 2024 with the intent to revitalize the company and acquire assets globally. The company is quoted on the OTC pink current market, trading under the ticker symbol CRKT. The company is in the process of appointing its board of directors, wider management team and committees, and setting out its agenda for the next 1 to 5 years. The company's mission statement: Cirmaker Technology Corporation is committed to generating sustainable asset-backed returns by deploying investor capital across 3 core pillars. They are residential property development, distressed asset restructuring, and high growth venture projects. So in this presentation, we will discuss our company goals, both the Irish housing market and the Irish mortgage market, the solutions that Cirmaker Technology can provide within these markets, the current position as it stands for the company, and the opportunity for both investors and business partners alike. So we will now take a look at the Irish mortgage market. In order to do so effectively, we must outline what happened in Ireland during the global financial crisis. Of course, the global financial crisis, or GFC, of 08-09 was felt all around the world. However, Ireland, as a small nation with some 5 million people, and through government and banking decisions, had a unique experience. At that time, banks were bailed out by the government through European funding. They set up agencies such as NAMA, the National Asset Management Agency, to provide liquidity to the market by buying loan books from the banks. However, after this bailout, the banks continued to pursue mortgage holders for mortgage arrears, and the average citizen of Ireland did not get any benefit from this action. In fact, it led to mass home repossessions as well as mass immigration. So let's take a look at this graph. As you can see, in 2008, there was a huge increase in mortgage arrears, which occurred all the way up till about 2012. Now, this has declined steadily over the last 10 or 15 years. However, there's still a huge problem. We still have a lot of mortgages in arrears. PDH properties, or family homes, make up 26,000 of these homes, or these mortgages, these accounts that are in arrears. It equates to an average of €240,000 or $260,000, $270,000 per household, per account, and an estimated 6.2 billion nationwide. So now let's take a look at the Irish housing market. According to the ESRI, between 38,000 and 50,000 homes per year are needed, averaging 44,000 a year between the years 2023 and 2030. Now, I can tell you that the Irish government isn't even close to producing these amount of houses per year, and it's in fact a huge bone of contention each time there's an Irish election. As you can see from the graph, which effectively outlines the past 20 years, in the early 2000s we had an economic boom. It was known as the Celtic Tiger. And then, of course, in 2008, which mirrors our previously outlined mortgage market, there was a steady decline after the global financial crisis. Now, the economy and the market has recovered over the last 10 or 15 years. However, there's still an incredible demand for housing, and we believe we can contribute to this 44,000 per year. Having outlined the Irish mortgage market and the Irish property market, what are some solutions that Cirmaker can provide within these markets? So Cirmaker is well positioned to raise capital by selling shares through both private placement and public share offerings. And the company intends to invest in three synergistic revenue pillars. One is debt restructuring, which of course will tackle the mortgage arrears we have in Ireland. Secondly, residential development, which will tackle the requirement for housing, as aforementioned 44,000 per year needed on average. And we will invest in venture projects, particularly those that complement our first two areas of business, such as modular housing and long-term income-producing assets. So one of our main areas of business, as outlined previously, is in residential developments. The company is currently planning and executing the construction of 1,000 homes between 2025 and 2030. An example type of home the company intends to invest in, and in some cases project manage, is a 3-bedroom semi-detached suburban home. And I can tell you, in Ireland, there's quite a lot of land zoned for development, particularly outside of our major cities. Now, we target a 30% per unit profit. This can only be achieved if done at scale, where we can enjoy economies of scale, and we intend to make that our target. So what are the key benefits? We will be meeting a growing middle-class housing demand. We will align with Irish government incentives and programs, and we can position properties in a variety of ways for resale, for rent to own, or for lease to own. By investing in this area, we are creating a predictable income while enhancing community infrastructure and, of course, making a dent in both of these markets. So now let's discuss our debt restructuring business, our current position. We've acquired a majority stake in an all-share transaction of over 51% of Morrison, a European company, with a balance sheet of $46 million. Our strategy going forward. Our target is to restructure 100 million of asset, raising 20 million through a Reg A raise. We intend to restructure the debt for 20 to 50% loan to value. Our plan, acquire the assets, restructure the debt, and lease back the property with a buyback offer. Principal and interest are paid down through a lease agreement. So let's take a $1 million property. We intend to restructure the debt on that property for 200,000 to 500,000 and lease the property back to the original property owner. They pay down the restructured debt amount as well as have a buyback offer, which they can buy back in the future, the property from the company. Now, this puts the individual in a position where they can stay in their asset, in their property, pay down a manageable debt and improve their credit rating over time, perhaps be in a position to buy back the property in the future through a mortgage, perhaps even from a pillar bank. So what are the key benefits to the company? The company will have a strong asset-backed balance sheet, recurring revenue via lease agreements, and a high internal rate of return through a potential buyback structure. Of course, the company has its fixed income from interest paid by the property partner, and then also the potential of a buyback, which generates a huge return for the company over time. And also, this will provide the potential for a dividend to shareholders, preferred and common. So now let's discuss our venture capital area of business. Cirmaker will dedicate up to 20% of its capital to high growth projects. The company intends to invest in early stage ventures, acquire an interest in already established and expanding businesses, and partner with companies that can help us achieve our goals within the real estate industry. So some projects that are in the pipeline, we have a card payment solution, rubber plantations with potential for long-term passive income, a hotel project in Southeast Asia, and including Thailand, a modular housing company with potential to drastically reduce the cost of building housing, a whiskey distillery, also with long-term potential for long-term income, and an equestrian project, Irish-based with global recognition, and an online sports company, which is both Irish and American-based. Now let's discuss the company's current position. We are on the OTC Pink current market under ticker symbol CRKT, and we're currently developing our management team. We've appointed our CEO, our COO, and CFO, the latter two of which have been appointed, however have not been formally announced yet. We're building our wider management team and appointing members to our necessary committees. We've begun the process of this throughout this year and intend to complete the process by the end of the year. We are preparing for an uplisting to the OTCQB in time, and are positioning ourselves well for that. We're currently analysing our share structure. We intend to remove any shares provided for non-consideration. Of course, we did great due diligence prior to acquiring this company, but we do intend to continually analyse our share structure to remove any shares given for non-consideration. We're negotiating the removal of convertible debt at present, and we have begun our share swap program with our subsidiary company, which is a big bonus to the company and to shareholders of our subsidiary. We're also developing the systems and applications to expand efficiently, as well as, of course, to uplist in time. So finally, let's discuss the opportunity that Cirmaker can offer. So Cirmaker's management team has a key understanding of the industry and the Irish market. The company has a great business model, particularly in the debt restructuring industry, to provide a real solution to the market. And this can be replicated all around the world. The company is quoted on an increasingly liquid market and has an increasingly liquid share. The company has just begun investor relations, and of course the price reflects that currently in the market. So how can you participate? You can participate in a Regulation A offer. We will be making a submission soon in the coming months, so please look out for that. And of course, those shares will be free trading shares offered under that program. And you can participate by private placement. You can invest money on private placement. Of course, these are subject to Rule 144, which of course is a 12+ month restriction on the shares. Please don't hesitate to get in touch at info@cirmakergroup.com or at our website www.cirmakergroup.com. Thank you for your time.
Our last presenter of Session B is a company that has seen some recent spikes in their share price and has recently launched a full-service audio, video, staging production services, and rental equipment company division called Melody Productions. Please welcome CEO Roxanna Greene of Hollywall, ticker HWAL.
So you can see what's going on, what's going on, what's going on, yeah, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on, right now. Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? How the music can free her whenever it starts, and it's magic. If the music is groovy and makes you feel happy like an old-time movie, I'll tell you about the magic and it'll free your soul. But it's like trying to tell a stranger about a rock and roll.
Good enough for me and my Bobby again. From the Kentucky coal mines to the California sun, hey, Bobby shared the secrets of my soul. Through all kinds of weather, through everything that we've done.
Chicago, Chicago, that toddling town. Chicago, Chicago, I'll show you around.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the conference hosted by Buffalo Fireside Chat today. I'm here to speak to you about Hollywall Entertainment, Inc., which trades under the ticker symbol HWAL at OTC markets on the OTC ID exchange. We're happy to give you an update today of the progress of the company that has transpired over the past few years now. In 2023, we made a candid decision by our board and our board of advisors to change the direction of the company, which had been focused in the 5G infrastructure space, to pursue the advancement of our core assets of the company, which is a substantial music catalog of rare and unheard music recording tracks going back to the late 1940s. In 2021, our music catalog was evaluated at $148 million. Currently, we have made a cautious decision to further update the valuation of all of our music IP assets, which includes not only tangible music recording rights, but also music publishing rights, along with NIL rights attached to the music tracks. This year, we will complete an updated valuation report for the purpose of a new valuation for the benefit of HWAL investments, our financial statements for full disclosures, and for the purpose of a future sale of all of our music catalog rights. That will yield a tremendous return to all of our investors in the form of future dividends. In 2023, we announced that upon the sale of this catalog, all shareholders will be entitled to a 1-for-1 share dividend held in Melody Trust, the subsidiary, which we formed to hold all the music catalog rights. Over the next few months, our legal and financial team will complete a complete chain of custody valuation report on all of our music assets, a current update valuation report for the benefit of numerous pending buyers that are in wait to make a formal offer on this tremendous music catalog. In the late 1990s, my late husband and I and other music producers and music executives acquired all the music IP rights which we hold, and we put them into a vault for a time such as now. The music recordings were protected for the benefit to make sure that when we did in fact start pursuing remarketing these recordings, that finally music composers and performers would get paid in real time, transparently, the royalties that they were finally owing, that for many decades were never paid.
La 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 la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars, and let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. People try to put us to down, talking about my generation, just because we get around. Talking about my generation, things they do look awful. Talking about my generation, I hope I die before I get old. Well, my baby left me, well I found a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of Lonely Street, that heartbreak hotel where I'll be just a lonely baby. You ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak. Don't talk back. Pretty woman, won't you pardon me? Pretty woman, I couldn't help but see. Pretty woman, and you look lovely as can be. I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I saw my standing on the shore now.
today's call, we hope to be able to present some history of the company, Hollywall Entertainment, our current activities, and our future plans. Currently, we are finalizing the completion of satisfying the settlement of one and only one liability that the company holds. Once that note is retired, this company has no liabilities of any magnitude, which makes us a very strong and healthy company. In addition to that, we have forged new partnerships and prepared the opening of several new operating divisions that will help us to expand the marketing and distribution of our music assets. A music catalog is made up of artists from the late 1940s to the 1980s. They include artists of every genre of country music, pop, rock, gospel, R&B, soul, blues, every artist that you can even think of that are iconic and known around the world. From Jimi Hendrix to Jefferson Airplane to Tina Turner, Dolly Parton, James Brown, Marvin Gaye, Aretha Franklin, Johnny Cash, George Jones, the Oak Ridge Boys, Willie Nelson, Buddy Guy, Santana, Eric Clapton. Some of the greatest guitar players of the world we hold in trust the music tracks. In 2023, when we made a shift to advance finally our music recordings and take them out of the vault, we did it in a very succinct manner. We moved everything into a subsidiary under the name of Melody Trust. That name is important to us because we've been holding these tracks in trust until technology could finally be available to us as a media, music, and entertainment company that would allow us to finally be able to market and distribute the music globally, with the understanding that we could make sure that music performers and music composers could finally get paid honestly, fairly, transparently, and in a manner that they finally receive a true marketable royalty schedule, unlike what they've been forced to deal with by other labels for almost a century now. The founders of our companies that I've had the great fortune to come up with and be mentored through the past many decades, this has always been our objective and our agenda. With the advent of blockchain technology, AI technology, tokenomics, for the benefit and ledger technologies, for the first time now, there's no question or doubt that we'll be able to make sure that the agenda of this company and the foresight for this company by the founders of this company can finally be managed and put forward. We're very fortunate to say that we have some incredible partners, technology partners, as well as marketing distribution partners. That includes our partnership with Space Blue, where we forged a new partnership company called Lunar Records. We've added a new partnership for the benefit of licensing our music for television, film, and game and advertisement use. We forged a partnership with a company called Rival LA. That division will open formally next week. We've also forged a partnership with a group that allows us to do audio, video, and staging production for live concert events and live stage events here in the U.S. These new divisions, with great partnerships, will help Hollywall, through its subsidiary Melody Trust, to anticipate tremendous revenues this year that will benefit all of our investment and our shareholders. We've taken our time as a company to slowly and gradually build these new partnerships and these new opening operational divisions until now. We're very excited to be able to announce to the world of our launching of these new partnerships and these new divisions in partnership with Buffalo Fireside Chat. This month kicks off a tremendous media and marketing and branding campaign by our company in partnerships with numerous media outlets that we have sourced, we have been following, and we have chosen to help us to tell our story. Our shareholders can expect to see tremendous podcasts, documentary series, and supporting information to the legacy behind Melody Trust and these incredible music master recordings that we have protected for decades. The stories are immense, whether it's a story about a specific music producer or the specific artists themselves. Each music track has a story, whether it's Jimi Hendrix tracks, which are rare, recorded most likely by him personally, performing in a club in New York City, or James Brown performing a live performance that you just cannot listen to without sitting and getting out of your seat. We're very excited for our shareholders for the pending activities of revenue and dividend distributions that we intend that they will foresee over the months and years to come. We've been building a long time as a group. I'm very happy to say that there's a group of family offices behind this company that have been supporting the growth of this company for decades, especially since 2013, when I moved all of these recording masters into Hollywall Entertainment, and they've been dormant until now. Throughout this conference, I will continue to show by sound what this catalog is really rich with by sound and visuals.
Out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain.
Throughout today's conference, I will be presenting certain video that we have pre-recorded to showcase the body of music that our company holds and has entrusted and safeguarded for the benefit of the music composers and the iconic music legends and their performances. Through the past year or two, as we have curated new music compilation releases, such as the album Summer of Love, which the imagery behind me is presenting what that album release looks like and entails. The Summer of Love collection specifically curated for the music that was performed in the late 60s and the Woodstock era. As we curated these albums in new formats of releases, it really was a beta for us on so many levels. Most importantly, we realized just how rare the music that's been in our vault actually is. That means that a lot of the music has either not been heard or rarely heard and rarely marketed and or rarely distributed. In the late 1999, when we acquired these recordings, the companies which we acquired them from was, in fact, marketing and selling select music packages under the labels Music Tracks and Classic Sounds. They were manufacturing the product in cassettes, and then in the new industry that was just now becoming an industry known as CDs. At that time, this entire collection of almost 27,000 recorded tracks, only about a quarter of the music was ever packaged and new compilations based on artist packages such as Willie Nelson, Marvin Gaye, James Brown, Tina Turner, the Oak Ridge Boys, Dolly Parton, Johnny Cash, so many artists, but they were distributed on a very limited basis. We have further defined this year that so many of these tracks, again, as I stated, are real rare tracks and possibly never even heard. So as we proceed this year and the full chain of custody reporting that our team of attorneys are perfecting this year, we will have finished the full definition of just how rare each song track is. To further monetize the catalog, we have moved forward with several new operating divisions and partnerships that we're very proud of that will allow us to merchandise this music to the world in very unique new technological ways. What I mean by that is this: we are not a traditional streaming company. We are not offering our music for downloads. We are building new one-of-a-kind compilations. Some of those compilations are in partnership with a new company that we forged last year, and that partnership is called Lunar Records. We're very proud to say that our partnership with Space Blue has allowed us to embark on a major out-of-this-world event with them, and that entailed us putting our music on the moon alongside of Space Blue.
Without beginning, what I want to feel forever. Yeah. Get up off of that thing. Yeah. Dance to you better. Get up off of that thing and dance to you. Sing it now. Get up off of that thing and dance to you better. Get up off of that thing. Try to reach that place.
When she's 10 feet tall, and if you go chasing rabbits, and you know you're going to fall.
Baby, stop being a neighbor, being like this. Time to be go. Go, 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 go. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out.
Most of our shareholders have no idea that I started in the music business as a teenager, playing drums professionally. Music is my passion. As I performed as a young teenager, both in my local community and then starting a high school band, I proceeded to build a Southern rock band and played almost on a regular basis into my early 20s. During that process, I met my late husband, who had been formal in the music business since the late 1950s. He represented some of the most recognizable and famous songwriters of all time. He helped to mentor me to understand the real business of music, which was really my passion as well. Along that journey, I was brought into the music industry, into areas of music that women traditionally did not walk into the rooms of, which included music studios, music publishing offices in Nashville, New York City, and I really learned the art of the music of business. At that time, I started to learn the importance of the fact that musicians and writers really were not being taken care of within the recording contracts that they held with all the major labels. It was at that time that I decided, along with my husband at the time, to go acquire music catalog interest and to build a family entertainment company, with the understanding that we could help make a difference and finally change the industry a bit, in hopes that writers and performers could finally get paid honestly for their creative efforts. Most of our shareholders do not know that I also am a composer. I play piano, and I've performed on stage a long time. Understanding every segment of music is really important, because most entertainment and music companies don't have that complete, rounded experience understanding. I believe for me, that helps me run and manage this company with a team of experts in the best way possible. I've always said that running any company, especially a publicly traded company, is like being a very, very large orchestra leader. You have to get the best out of everyone that works beside you. I think being a young performer at a young age has given me great skill set to build this company over the past many decades. I've been managing and operating publicly traded companies now for almost 30 years. And I'm grateful and honored to be able to say that I've had some of the best advisors around me through the years, that is, attorneys and accountants and auditors. But most importantly, I am very blessed and honored to say that most of the investors and shareholders in Hollywall today have been with me for decades. And I'm grateful for their patience. But this next 12 months will be the year that all of these years of hard work, dedication, and sacrifice by all of us, and I mean all of us as shareholders, investors, families, will finally see financial gain for their steadfastness and belief and faith in all of our hard work. I wish to thank everyone for their time and consideration. So, as I say to most on all of my sign-offs, it is time to rock and roll. So thank you, everybody. To our next conference. Stay safe.
That I heard of